Hi everybody, hoping you all are doing well. Once again, welcoming you in the channel of Learn with Amina. And today I am going to tell you something really important, and that is English language related. As you all know that I always give you something productive and I bring something new for you. So today, in today's video, I'll be telling you how you are going to use pronouns in your English language. So, do you know what are pronouns and have you ever used in your English? Let me clear it to you. What are pronouns? So that you can use them later on in a very. What are two kind of pronouns? Let me discuss it with you. Now I'm going to tell, and you should keep them in mind. One is really easy, and that is I'm going to tell subject personal pronouns. Now, what are subject personal pronouns? Subject personal pronoun functions as subject, the substitute, the person, animal, or object performing the action of the sentence. So the 8 subject personal pronouns are below. For the first group, we will explain in the situation to use each pronoun differently. So I'm going to first of all tell you what kind of pronouns are they. They are total 8. Number 1, you. You is used as second person singular and masculine and feminine, used to talk about to the single person you are talking to. Number 2, he, third person singular, masculine, used to talk about one male. She, third person singular, feminine, used to talk about one male. It, number 4, it, third person singular, neutral, used to talk about things and animals or we don't love. Next up is from I. I is the first person, singular, masculine and feminine, used to refer to yourself. Next up, as I have told you now 5, I'm moving to number 6. Number 6 is we. First person plural, masculine or feminine, used to talk about a group of people that includes yourself. Next up, I have number 7, you. You is second person plural, masculine or feminine, used to talk about or to the group of people that you are talking to. Last, number 8 pronoun is they, third person plural, masculine or feminine, used to talk about a group of people that does not include yourself. So, type number 2 is object personal pronoun. Object personal pronoun function as objects. There are 3 types of objects in English: direct, indirect, and prepositional. But don't worry, they all look the same altogether. So direct objects answer the question who or what. Indirect object answers the question to whom or for what. And third type of prepositional objects are objects that are governed by a preposition. So this is how you are going to learn the 2 types of personal pronouns. Now, let me move to the second type of pronouns, and that is possessive pronoun. Now, what is possessive pronoun? Possessive pronouns, not to be confused with possessive adjectives. They are nouns in main pronouns that help us to talk about the possession and ownership, who owns what. So possessive pronouns also have different forms of depending on the grammatical person. They can also change depending on the gender of the noun. Say for example in the third person singular, but they don't show number in English. So next up I'm going to tell you about demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns are the pronouns we use to refer and point to specific people, animals, and things. So the 4 demonstrative pronouns are this, near, in distance, or time singular, that, that is used for foreign distance or time and singular. These. These is used near in distance or time but is used as a plural. And those. Those is used for foreign distance or time and is also used for plural. As you can see that only two things we have to take into account when we are using them in distance. I mean to say in space or time from the speaker and the number of the noun they are referring to. So, this was all about number 3. Now number 4 is indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns are the pronouns that refer mainly to non-specific people, animals, things and quantities. So this means they do not refer to specific nouns, instead they refer to any noun of the category the speaker is talking about. I mean, for example, anybody can do it. So, there are different types of indefinite pronouns, but I'm going to tell you some of the subcategories. So, one is indefinite pronouns that can only refer to people, indefinite pronouns that can only refer to things like something, anything, nothing, and everything. In indefinite pronouns, you can say anybody, everybody, somebody, nobody, and so on. Indefinite pronouns that only refer to countable things, few, fewer, several, many, and other. Indefinite pronouns that only refers to uncountable things means less, little, and least. So you can say, for example, nobody loves me. You can say everybody loves Mary. Number 5 pronoun type is relative pronoun. Now, what is relative pronoun? Relative pronouns are a small group of pronouns that introduce relative clauses. They are called relative because they refer to the noun described or modified by the relative clause. A basic way to tell you is of a sentence, right, having a relative clause is to remove it. So if the sentence still makes sense without it, that means that is a relative clause. So I am going to tell you one example of relative pronoun. Whom or who used to refer is to people, which is used for animals and things. That is used for people, animals, and things. Whose is used for possessive things, meaning used with people, pets, and things. So number 6 type of pronoun is interrogative pronouns. Now what are they? You might have heard it very first time. The set of interrogative pronouns looks almost identical to the relative pronouns. So this group of pronouns does not describe or give information about a noun. Instead, interrogative pronouns are used to ask questions about people, animals, things, and possessors. Means who, whom, which, what, whose. I'm pretty sure you know how to use them in interrogative pronouns. Say, for example, who are you, sir? Who is there? And so on. Number 7 type of pronoun is reflexive pronoun. If you know it already, you should revise it now. The reflexive pronouns are used when a person, animal, or object performs, does an action or something on themselves, such as bathing or washing. This is another group of pronouns that has a different form for each grammatical person. Say, for example, myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. So you can always read them and use them in a different way. Number 8 and the last pronoun type is reciprocal pronoun. Now, what are reciprocal pronouns? Reciprocal pronouns are a very simple type of English pronouns, and there are only 2 of them, each other or one another. They are used when two or more people perform a reciprocal action, an action that everyone in the situation is either doing or having it done to them. So each other is used when we are talking about two people. Say, for example, John and Mary love each other. And one another is normally used when we have three or more people doing the same action. Say, for example, John, Mary, and David congratulated one another. So, don't mix up the pronouns in a greater way. Now, I'll be telling you one more type which you don't know in general, but I'm going to tell it to you. That is intensive pronouns. Have you ever heard about it? If you haven't, let me clarify it to you. It's a part of pronouns. Intensive pronouns are used to add emphasis or importance to the subject or antecedent of a sentence. So they look identical to the reflexive pronouns, they are used differently. So while reflexive pronouns refer to a subject performing an action on itself, intensive pronouns refer to a subject that is not doing anything on itself. I did it myself, for example. I hope that this pronoun lesson has been very useful for you today. And some English pronouns are much often used than others. You know them. Equally, every pronoun is important, but some are used less and some are used more likely. So now I tell you that you can find more updated videos on different topics that you might not know in my next video. You can talk to me on some other topic and we can discuss ahead. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Keep sharing, keep subscribing, keep liking. This is Learn with Amina.